Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I figured I'd do a therapy session, but I think the emphasis will be something specific. It's not nothing to do with me. I'm just watching what everybody's focused on, and I remember it. You know what I mean? That Jeffrey Dahmer thing. And that. And when I say I remember it, I will say that I was a little kid and I remember who he was. That kind of thing. I remember having specific conversations with my mom at Carl's Jr. on Sunset Boulevard in Weston. I don't know, that Carl's Jr. has been long gone for many years, but back in the day, I used to go there with mom and get a chicken club sandwich. And back then they used to put bean sprouts in it. It's a different time. Wheat bread and all that. It was delicious as hell though. But nevertheless, I remember sitting with my mom in that restaurant eating those sandwiches, and I remember her telling me about this guy. And they had caught him. This was before he had gotten taken down in prison, but they had just caught him, and she was telling me that he was going around doing these various things. And we followed the story a little bit, and it was just very disgusting. What I didn't realize was that the majority of the people that he was targeting was black. I didn't know that until this era now. I never knew. Never even looked into it to that degree. I just know what he was up to. I remember how they caught him. I remember the different graphic and disturbing things that were said. But as I'm listening to people talk about this this documentary, or this TV show rather, I haven't laid eyes on it. I don't watch any of that stuff at all, to be honest with you. I haven't seen a single show in over 2 years, but nevertheless, it's one of those situations where I just don't know what purpose it serves to shine a light on a guy like that. Granted, we've always seen for years and years, culture, murder culture. It's real. They like, there's a audience for that. People really legitimately like to worship these type of people, but I think the problem is when you romanticize these type of guys, you birth new ones. Not to say that there ain't gonna be people out there who will act this way regardless, but when you make them famous, you give them ambition. You give them something to dream about, and that, I think, is not. That's not. First of all, it's obviously bad, but second of all, I don't think it's done without that in mind. I think these types of art sometimes have that as a motivating factor, and I don't know who is behind certain things, but we gotta understand that there's certain energy out there that doesn't really want to build at all. They don't want to build. They want to see chaos. They want to push the limits. They want to do whatever it is that they want to do. And sometimes we just kind of go toward art and don't really think about what motivates people to make it, or what ultimately is to be taken from it. Listening to what people are telling me and listening to what people are saying, and not taking anything from it at all. It's just shock and awe, and more or less glorifying this person, and basically glorifying what it is that he did. And to me, that just doesn't speak to anything that contributes to society. I don't. I think it potentially can take a lot away from it though. And when you look back on a person like that, it's like you're introducing a mind like that to a brand new generation of people who were fortunate enough to never exist while he was here. He's not the type of guy you want to come across in any way, shape, or form. And he was the type of guy you would have probably shook hands with, smiled with, and invited in your home. And that is the problem. I think the only positive thing about shining a light on a guy like that is reminding all of us that people like that do exist. That they walk the earth very convincing. And so it's like, if anything, it just keeps you fearful. But I understand that when you add the fact to it that it was African Americans that he murdered, it's going to be a lot of people who are going to speak about that as a motivating factor for their outrage, and I understand that point of view as well. Me not watching it and just having found out what it was that he was up to in that regard, I haven't really processed all that personally. But what I can say is, I think the world is a lot better off if people like that don't walk it. Simple as that. You know, he was very ill, and he was aggressive in his illness. And it was unfortunate that it took as long as it did to catch him. You know, but this culture that we have here, where we exalt these type of guys and make them action figures and all stars, or however you want to, you know, describe it, making them famous is only giving the bad guys who are coming something to look forward to. And I just understand that that doesn't help us as a society in any way, shape, or form. If anything, it just fuels those who want to see it burn and give them, you know, gives them what they want to see. So I just know better. I know better, and I think a lot of us need to stop, look and pay attention to what's being given to us instead of just absorbing everything and just laughing it off as just nothing, because it's not nothing. You know, it's not nothing at all. We are desensitizing ourselves to certain things when we take in certain art, and we, you know, already have enough going on in the real world, you know, that we are desensitized to because everybody has phones in their hands capturing the reality. You know, I think we're getting to a point where we're losing sight of what matters as it pertains to what human life really is, and that we are all human beings. And so when we watch certain types of mortality and things like that, it cannot be good for the mental health, regardless of how many people appreciate that type of art. And I know it's many who do, but it then becomes a situation where you have to understand that you're feeding yourself something. And so we just got to filter what we feed and understand that when we welcome certain energy into our lives, you may end up seeing certain realities come with that. So I don't welcome certain things, and that's why I don't take in certain types of art. But I respect people's, you know, choices. You know, I like that there's a variety out there for us, and so I would not try to censor those who want to watch what they want to watch. If you want to watch Dahmer, I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, in fact, I think the dude who plays Dahmer is an excellent actor. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. So, you know, I would support what else he does. But this type of art, it ain't for me, man. It's just, I would not go toward that to begin with. I know what he was up to. I know how sick he was. So to have to see visuals of that, that doesn't do it for me. You know. So that's just what I had to say about that situation. I don't think I'll be looking to become any more curious about it going forward than I already am. You know, it is what it is, man. That dude was somebody who did things to people that most of us cannot stomach. You know, and I think a lot of people aspire to stomach stuff like that, and that's a sick aspect of our society, if you ask me. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.